Hello, everybody. It's hard to believe we're already in week 5. A couple of kind of administrative announcements before we get started. First of all, I've graded your module 2. If it wasn't up and you had, again, remember that zeros are placeholders. Please don't assign a psychological gravity to 0 that's not there. I am contractually obligated to put a 0 in if your work isn't in by Wednesday. If you're running a little late, just email me and let me know what's going on. I can usually work with you in, except for discussions. They're due, on the calendar time. Okay, so please just drop me, please don't send me an email asking me why haven't you graded X, or just let me know that you've submitted that work, and I will go back and double check. But as of Friday, I've submitted grades for milestone 2. Any comments that I made in milestone 2, which was graded, supersede comments I might have made in milestone 1. So just focus on milestone 2, please. Okay. Most of you that I read, you got great ideas for projects. I can't think of anybody who didn't have a great idea for a project. So please focus on milestone 2 feedback. Check your grades. Check the feedback I provided you. I can't think, in all likelihood, and I can't think of any exceptions, I said, hey, this is a good idea, right? Okay. That was as of Friday. I have not gone back. I do not work. Sometimes I'll work on a Sunday night, but I did not this week. And it's Monday morning. I'm making this announcement. It's a little late, okay? And that's number 1. Number 2, if there are problems with links, or I can't download this, you might say, don't contact me. I can't really do anything, right? And it's not that I don't want to hear that you're having a problem. If you're having a problem, just say, I'm having a technical problem. I've contacted the following, and I'm going to give you this information, right? Go in here and go to your homepage of your course. I'm going to go ahead and view as a student here, just so we know what's going on. So I'm seeing exactly what you would see, okay? So I go up here, go up here to this, click online student services, go over here, technology support, and then contact them. Call them up if you've got the time, send a ticket, communicate with them, and then communicate with me and say, I'm having a technical issue. I've contacted IT. I cannot resolve it for you. In all likelihood, unless there's a generic link, and there have been a couple here that have been broken, and a couple of places where they've hidden stuff that I didn't know where it was. But that's what I do. I contact the IT service desk, and they've been able to resolve it. I can't tell you. In all likelihood, if you're not able to download a video or something, it's usually because you've got what are called cookies, and you need to clear the cache out. CACHE is the word, of your searches, because what they do is they kind of clog your. But I'm not the man who can tell you how to do that. You need to take the initiative. If you're having a problem, call them directly. They're going to resolve it like that, right? I'm going to have to. What you do is, if you come to me, I'm just going to send you back to them. Why? I'm a sociology professor. I don't know how to fix broken links. I can only report them, and I can do the same thing you can do, right? Is to ask them to fix it. And usually they're usually very good at it, and they're very quick at it. Okay, so if that's the key, to your problem, just let me know you're having a problem, and contact this technical support. Okay. I'm going to, I'll send that out again in an email later on for everybody to see. Okay, let me go back here, go down. Let's go to, we're now in week 5, moving right along. Okay. And week 5 is going to talk about health and poverty. Let's go over some of the issues, the community issues. So you're going to read chapters 7 and 8 here in your textbook. Chapter 7 begins on, let's get a page number for you. Chapter 7 begins on page 216, and the title of the chapter is Improving Health and Avoiding Alarming Trends. Chapter 8 is Ending Poverty and Building Common Wealth. These two things are inextricably related, okay? Healthcare and poverty, okay? Basically the links between healthcare and poverty, if I had to do a map, for example, and I don't have that in front of me, I've taught a course on Appalachian studies, from a sociological standpoint. And what what is striking, is you look at different aspects of issues. There's a very high correlation between preventable disease, between type 2 diabetes, lung cancer deaths, and very low, and poverty rates. The highest of which are in Appalachia, and it's striking. Childhood obesity. There are any number of what they're called social epidemiology. They're epidemiological concerns that have to do with health and health care and the lack of access to health care. Dental care, lack of dental care is life threatening. I mean, Western medicine has evolved to where we separate, the dentifrice, the treatment of, from everything else, and we have a separate, program. But I mean, if your teeth, you have a teeth. I've known people who have died, from heart conditions that started in their teeth. So watch this. Okay, so read those chapters there. Review this video. Okay. Now, again, you should watch this to prepare for your next module, which is module 6. And then, there's another, there's something on Netflix, Carbon Nation. Okay, so I'm not sure. Let's see here. I'll look. So basically, what are we gonna do? Okay. In this module overview. Okay. Consider these following points. To live long, there must be health, and to prosper, there must be opportunity. There must be a Star Trek fan. There must be opportunity to work and avoid poverty. Okay, this is within the structure of human and environmental sustainable community development. We've heard that before. Our healthcare industry in the United States of America is profit-driven. Gyms Adopt the Landscape and diet programs are bestsellers, yet obesity and adult onset diabetes burden the nation. You can look at the epidemics. I'd recommend, if you have a chance, and I know most of us don't have the time, but there's a great lecture given by a pediatric endocrinologist out at UCLA Medical Center. He does work. He's got a lecture called Food Gate. And folks, again, if we read down here, I'm not going to read all of these. Okay. Keep this in mind. Okay. I don't want to hear about quick fix individual. Well, we need to eat more vegetables, and people need to just, eat better and exercise. That's just a very kind of, basic explanation. There is a structure in the way food is produced. That's a problem that you as an individual have no control over. Okay, I can't go out and stop the production of Hot Pockets, for example. Okay, terrible food, or potato chips, or the barrage of advertising. You can't. Individuals can't, control that. Moreover, a lot of the foods that we eat, unless you're shopping completely produce and fresh meat, they all have additives. The sugar industry successfully lobbied in the 1970s to keep sugar content off of the labels of many of the products that we eat. For example, right? I'm basically about 85% of my diet is plant based. I had to make some changes, and I have the capacity, the individual capacity to exercise and watch my diet. Right? That's a I won't say a luxury, but that's an option I have that many people don't have. Okay, if you're a WIC recipient or you and so occasionally I'll have some eggs. Occasionally I'll have some processed food, a couple of tablespoons of salad dressing or open pit barbecue sauce. That stuff is chock full, but I know what I'm doing. That stuff is chock full of sugar. You can't get sugar free. You can get low sodium, and a lot of the stuff. Okay, and then again, fitness programs and diet programs in schools are a problem, right? Just like a lot of the other, this ties into the education system, right? Okay, so these are related. Poverty. What is poverty happening here? It's a fundamental attribution error to blame the people who are in poverty without looking at the structures that cause poverty. Okay, so I want you to be very careful, and I want you to really think this through before you dive into the discussion and start telling me people need to work harder and eat better. That's just a kind of not a good explanation. So then your journal here is going to be identify the links between health and poverty and develop 3 practical responses. And you can do this like on a regional analysis. I mean, I did this entire I did a similar thing when I was preparing material about, from a social problem standpoint, again, looking at Appalachia, about some of the possible solutions there. And, and some of them I found were overly individualized. I mean, it's easy to tell people to go eat some broccoli. If you don't have any broccoli, or you don't have time to prepare it, or, I mean, okay. So, and then finally, here, excuse me, here, I'm coughing. Your draft of milestone 3. Okay. What you want to do is look at this final project document for this milestone. And again, many of you have done excellent work on milestone 2. I haven't dove into looking at the milestone 2s, but please check your grade before you email me and go, I don't have a grade. You probably do if you submitted it prior to Friday. Okay. If not, I'll be looking at those and grading them today. If you do your milestone 3 thoroughgoingly, you think of this as a kind of a rough draft of your final project. Then you don't have to do much work on your final project. On the other hand, don't use this strategy, which people do. I think you all are a little more advanced, but don't think that I'm going to fill in all the gaps for you and just turn in some stuff. But I don't think that's really a problem with you all. You all are thinkers, and you're really working rigorously on this topic. So, we're in pretty good shape here. So, please, let me see what you got, as we work through this milestone 3. And that's going to put us in really good shape, upcoming. Okay? Have a good week, and please email me if you have any questions.